Welcome back to AWF Outdoors. I just come in here in my little jig tying room. Thought I would tie up some jigs and bring y'all along on another jig tying video. We're finally up into February, and we've been chasing those free ranging crappie out there with a live scope. Been fishing with my brother Philip a lot. He has live scope on his boat, and I have people asking me, how we do that and why do we go to these places and look for them. Everybody knows they're hard to find right now, and the reason for that is they're out roaming. They're changing their patterns again. They're getting ready for the spring spawn. So they're out there swimming around. They're coming back out of the rivers and the deeper water. We've been fishing in sloughs or creek channels and things that we call them sloughs. Some people ask me what a slough is, but it's just a main creek feeding into the main lake or river system. So we're going up into these creeks and starting around the river, around the edge of the river at the mouth of the creek. And we're fishing using minnows, and we're dropping minnows on these free range crappie. Using live scope, we can actually chase down one fish. And when I say chase down, I mean that's literally what we're doing. We'll find it on the screen, follow it around, just slip up on it from downwind, and that fish is just swimming. So we just get up on them and try to head them off a little bit and pitch the minnow out in front, because the minnow has to fall down in front of them as they come by. So that's how we've been catching them. But they're moving into these creeks and coves now, and it won't be long before they start stacking up on a lot of structure that's going to be in the areas where they're going to be spawning. And we'll be back on the pre-spawn and spawning fish soon. I know a lot of you guys that watch the channel are from up north, and you're talking about everything's still snow and ice. Man, it's been cold here too. This week we got 60s and 30s and 40s at night. So I'll be making some videos this week. But anyway, today's video is about tying jigs. I got a guy that's been asking me to tie him some, and probably going to tie 2 or 3 different colors. So glad to have you back. So let's get to tying a jig. So I've got some 1/8 ounce that I'm going to work on today. These are 1/8 ounce with a number 1 eagle claw wire hook. We got red, chartreuse, and pink. We're going to be working with marabou. This is a blood quill on the chartreuse. Then I have just a strong marabou, and I'll be using black and chartreuse. I'm going to tie these on the red heads, and that's some of my favorite colors, so that's what we're going to tie first. All right, we're going to start with the red head. I always put some type of cement, fingernail polish onto my hook shank, just to give that thread something to bond to. I'm going to be using this black right here for the body. Be tying this with black thread. So we're going to put a few wraps on this hook using black. That way when I get to the head up here, when I get finished tying, you won't be able to see this thread because it's black. It's going to be hard to see with this black background on my shirt, but I'm using black first. So I'm just measuring how long I want this jig. About that length. I'll cut that off. Come back up toward the head, wrap loosely to start with until I can get this in place. Something else I like doing too is when I do that first the first material right there, I like to go back over it and put some glue. Now that jig's secured, it should last a long time. All right, so I just want to put an accent in this, and I'd really like for the chartreuse to be on the top of the body. So I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to keep this chartreuse on the top side here. So we're going to put our chenille on here now. I'm going to wrap that back to there, bring my thread back forward. And I'm going to wrap her body up. So the guy that I'm tying these for just told me, I asked him about his favorite colors. He said just tie him something that I like. So that's what we're going to do. Clip that off. Do a little whip finish on this. So I'm going to tie up a few different colors for them. Black and chartreuse is one of my favorites. So I know it looks fuzzy right now, but that's the way marabou is. And like I said, once it gets wet, it'll all lay back to where you got a black and chartreuse body. So that's two of those. We'll tie a different color now. And we're going to use some white. I want this one to be real fluffy, so I'll use this piece here. That's about the length I need. I got feathers flying everywhere. I might have to add another piece. A little bit more material on there. It don't look like it's got quite enough. That looks better. I could have a little flashy boo in here. I do have some here that's got some chartreuse colors in it. So I'm going to add a few strands of that on this one. Put a couple pieces down each side. Come back to there and cut that off about the length of the body. When I tighten this down, I tighten it down where both strands will be on one side and then the other ones on the other side. I'll pull that back about the length of the body. Cut that off. And I'm going to use some silver. Silver chenille. Like I said, this is It's small chenille, so I want to build it up some. I may have to go over it twice. Alright, a little whip finish. Give them a selection of colors. Let's go with a pink head. I tied some electric chickens on one of the videos, and that video and the jig turned out really good. Y'all go back and check that out. Had a lot of compliments on that electric chicken. I've never tied one, and it turned out good, I thought. So I'm gonna tie electric chicken. This is just my version. Using chartreuse thread, pink head. We'll be using chartreuse, yellow, and probably some rabbit fur. And chartreuse, I believe, is what I got. So we're going to start it off with just a touch of chartreuse for a tail. I'm going to use some yellow marabou. Add just a little bit more yellow. I'm gonna let this yellow roll around. So I'll tie it on loose, and I'm gonna roll it around to get to the other side. And go back and tighten it up. I'll look at that and see how that looks. Alright. Got our chartreuse up top. Got our yellow on the bottom. And some flashy blue. That's one side. Now this side. Go back and cut it off the length of the body. Alright. So I've got pink rabbit fur. I'm just adding this as a little accent to the top side. Really, to me, is what makes the jig. Turn this over. Add just a little bit of pink right here. I'm keeping this right on top of the jig. I don't want it to mix in with the rest of the stuff. Okay, So now we're ready for the body. And whip finish. I'll be trimming this just a little bit here. I'll trim some of this stuff off, just a little bit of the length. It's going everywhere. All right, so there's your electric chicken. I'm gonna tie one more of these and that'll do it. So what we got the electric chicken. Then I tied chartreuse in white. It's got a silver body with a flash of blue in it. And then we tied black and chartreuse. So the bottom half is black, top half chartreuse with a black body, red head. You'll be able to catch fish on one of those, or all of them. So if you liked the video, please subscribe. We went on a couple more fishing trips and I got some more videos coming out. Matter of fact, if you're watching this video, there'll be another one loading the same day. So, see you next time.